Tonight, in this edition of the primetime newscast on Equinoxe television, the Social Democratic Front wants elections Cameroon against electoral fraud and puts in place a committee to check excesses. In this newscast, we'll tell you more. Plus, several days after the publication of the results of the baccalaureate examinations, students in Gaoundiri of the Adamawa regions of the country are still stranded. They say that they are still to know their fate as far as the 2018 session of the exam is concerned. Plus, on a special package tonight, the Archbishop Emeritus of Douala is going to be looking at the rationale behind the All-Anglophone Conference that has been at the center of controversies lately. Those are our top stories. We shall be right back with the details. Stay with us. Good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you back from the weekend. Our sincere apologies for the late start of this newscast. It is due to some technical hitches beyond our control. We begin right away in academics in the Adamawa region of Cameroon to talk about several students of the government high school in Gaoundiri that are still without their back result, precisely those of Serie Day that after the results were made public few days ago, school authorities who had earlier published partial results on campus are now requesting that other students that are still to have access to their results simply be patient. Details with Sumanji Kangebre.
In front of the notice board at the government school in Gaoundiri, a group of students desperately in need of their results. These students of the Serie D section of the back exams are surprised that the results of the successful candidates have been partially posted on the notice board by the principal of the college. However, the same principal left a note that was encouraging and calmed the hearts of these students who are expecting their results. How did it happen that results of an exam written nationwide and results released are still missing? A source within the college tells us that it is a fault from the central unit of the back head office in Yaoundé. Even though the principal has reassured the tensed students about the availability of the results in the coming days, many are asking how soon will that be. For now, just 42 names of successful candidates have been made available in the Serie D exams.
The difficulties faced by students of Bac Serie D in Gaoundiri of the Adamawa region of Cameroon. Now, the Social Democratic Front Party has challenged elections Cameroon to play its effective role in ensuring a free, fair and transparent election come October 2018. It is one of the fallouts of the SDF meeting which took place in Tarikon, Bamenda Northwest region at the weekend. Details with Mbu Stella and Innocent Aze.
SDF resolution of the National Executive Committee, which held July 28, 2018 in Bamenda, the party's headquarters, grouped the members to debate and discuss various matters related to the upcoming presidential election in Cameroon, October 7, 2018. The meeting, chaired by the national chairman, John Funzi, witnessed as resolutions the need for ELECAM to timely inform Cameroonians on the solution he has taken to solve the problem of voting for internally displaced and refugees. To SDF, ELECAM should comply with the law by withdrawing all illegal polling stations set up in military barracks, presidential and chief's palace. ELECAM should put in place a special committee headed by the Secretary General with Honorable Bandam, Honorable Awudum Bayasipren as members with the duty to cause ELECAM to respect the law. The NEC members thanked Cameroonians for their enthusiasm, reception of O.C. Joshua, the party's presidential flag bearer, and counts on them all to come out and massively vote for him October 7. Cameroonians in the diaspora were also congratulated for the warm welcome accorded O.C. Joshua and the delegation from the party. NEC will be organizing the electoral campaign throughout the national territory. with 4 communication focal points on the national territory. All those enrolled have also been asked by the NEC members to withdraw their voters' cards as soon as possible and exercise their voting rights few months from now.
We continue to talk about the Social Democratic Front Party that is now planning to undertake what they have called stringent move if polling stations that are not removed from military barracks and the Unity Palace. Emmanuel Tonga, the Central Regional President of the party, re-echoed the message today in Yaoundé. The decision was arrived at during the next meeting of the party, which took place Saturday. As Innocent Aze indicated, the party of Nigerian Frundi has promised to create a committee led by Honorable Joseph Mbandam and Awudumbaya to ensure the effective implementation of the law in force at elections Cameroon. Let's now have an excerpt of Emmanuel Tonga, who is the president of the Central Regional Bureau of the Social Democratic Front. He was speaking to Marcel Ngangsop today in Yaoundé.
We are very disappointed about Elekam and his direction, because as we asked before, that all polling stations should be removed in military barracks, and that has not been done. And we have seen that last week, the same Elekam has opened 3 others polling stations at the Biya Etudi Palace. While at this time, Mr. Biya will be going to vote in Bastos. What are the 3 polling stations for? That is about 1,500 military who are going to vote there. Can they show us where are these military? So we are, as the NEC has taken the resolution, the NEC decided that Elekam should remove all these military, all these polling stations in military barracks. Or else, in the coming weeks, the SDF and ourselves here in the center are going to take strong strategy, and we advise Mr. Esuse, the Elekam General Director, to take his responsibility. Last week, we always meet Mr. Esuse to remind him that the SDF has met before. Mr. Babale has written to the defense minister that we want that this polling station should be withdrawn in these barracks. Mr. Esuse told us that in 8 days he will give us an answer, and now we are 12 days behind and we have no answer. So I am sending a message to Mr. Esuse to know that he is responsible of what is going to happen. It's not only the SDF, it's the Cameroonians who are asking these military barracks to be pulled out of this polling station, to be pulled out in these military barracks. So Elekam, you are advised, and you are going to take all the responsibilities before the Cameroonians people.
And it has been at the center of controversies and debates for the past few days. I'm talking about the convening of the Anglophone General Conference in Boya, southwest region of Cameroon. Not only has the venue been highly contested, the conveners and the initiative itself has been rubbished by many. Christian Kadinatumi, the brain behind the All Anglophone Conference, the third of its kind, has maintained that no individual, not even the government of Cameroon, is behind the said initiative. We compiled his views in the following package.
We believe that the moment has come.
The convening of the Anglophone General Conference by Christian Kadinatumi has triggered diverse reactions from Cameroonians at home and abroad. The rationale behind the August 29th and 30th gathering and the actors involved has been at the center of criticisms.
Personally,
Christian Kadinatumi has maintained that the decision to bring the Anglophone population together was personal.
the idea has been in my mind for quite some time. I listened to intervention of the Anglophones. I arrived at the conclusion that we were not saying the same thing, and that they did not really know what their problems were. The problems were not clearly defined. So I thought that it would be good for the Anglophones to meet and define clearly and as objectively as possible what their grievances against the central administration are. Can you imagine me, Dr. Monzo, a young man there, and I, at my age, fronting for him? They don't just, it is my initiative, which coincidentally interest Monzo that I have known for years.
The Archbishop Emeritus of Douala equally dispelled allegations that the meeting was spearheaded by the government of Cameroon.
Of course, they are sure there that the government has authorized the meeting. We're still wondering whether the government will accept us to meet, which they will have to be there to protect us, to make sure that the meeting takes place calmly, because it is our right. It's our duty as pastors.
Christian Cardinal Tomi said that his interference is coming after government's initiatives failed to put an end to hostilities in the English-speaking parts of Cameroon.
I thought that the initiative the government was taking to dialogue with the people on the field by sending, some government officials to meet the people would help to reduce the tension. But I think all of us will agree that the tension is getting more and more serious, and that we cannot just sit down looking at what is happening. But it's getting worse. Many soldiers are killed, many civilians are killed. We as pastors, we will want to speak and propose to the Anglophone Cameroonians and to all Cameroonians what we think should be done to seize the violence that is taking place now in the country.
Christian Cardinal Tomi said that the Boya conference would be a proposal platform where general views could be put together and taken to the national level for solutions.
It's a proposition. We're not imposing. We're not imposing at all. We're as pastors, as religious leaders, for us Catholics, Christ has said propose in season and out of season. Whether they listen to you or not, you would have done your work.
The Archbishop Emeritus of Douala is convinced that the pastoral perception of the initiative makes it original and different from similar meetings held decades ago, which have been described as fiasco.
We have a pastoral approach. We have no arms, but we tell love, forgiveness. These are the virtues we'll be insisting on. Love and forgiveness, objectivity and truth. These are not political. This is not political language. So that is what makes the whole thing different from our approach. And if we will take part in that meeting, we, the religious persons, and our insistence will be on those virtues that make man, that is, truth.
Christian Cardinal Tomi concluded by saying that it is now left to the government of Cameroon to decide on whether or not to bring the diasporans on board and release those arrested in connection with the Anglophone crisis.
There are some who are for secession. There are others who are federalism. There are others who are for a certain decentralization that the president of the country is proposing. All we are saying that anybody who wants to take part in this dialogue should be objective. That is to say, when you come to dialogue, you must be ready to take and give. That is why we're telling the government, please, to allow them come in freely, and if possible, if legally possible, to free those who are in prison so that they will participate.
And one of the prominent figures in the Southwest Regional Headquarters of Boya, who has categorically maintained that the August 29th and 30th meeting is not going to take place is Mayor Ekema Patrick Esunge, who is planning a huge protest that is going to be tomorrow. In that regard, the mayor of the Boya subdivision converged on the Boya Council Hall that was yesterday and urged the sons and daughters of Bakweri to mobilize and march through the streets of Boya to express their discontentment. The kidnapping of close to 10 chiefs in the community and the death of one of them in captivity a few days ago is Royal Highness Chief Mbandanje of Lisoka is also one of the reasons why the people should storm the streets tomorrow, according to the mayor of the Boya subdivision. But in another release this Monday, the 30th of July 2018, Mayor Ekema Patrick Esunge revealed that the protest tomorrow is not only going to be limited to the sons and daughters of Bakweri. Mayor Ekema Patrick invited those from all the divisions in the southwest and out of the region to join. The mayor said that they would assemble at the governor's office in that part of the country. He had told the press, that was yesterday Sunday, that the Anglophone conference is not going to take place even if it is authorized by the President of the Republic. On to something else, major towns and cities in the northwest and the southwest regions of Cameroon were today hit by ghost town. The roads were empty in the towns of Limbe, Boya, Bamenda, Kumba, Kumbo, and major towns and villages in the two Anglophone regions of Cameroon. Locals in Limbe who had postponed business activities for today would have to wait longer, or maybe tomorrow when activities return to normal. The markets were closed, likewise in Boya, where gunshots were heard amid reports of the death of at least 2 persons and several others injured who are currently receiving treatment in hospital. An official statement from local authorities on the number of casualties is still highly awaited. Even the transport sector was grounded in the northwest and the southwest regions of the country today. And talking about the transport sector in Cameroon, after 3 days of hampered circulation and traffic jam as a result of a broken stretch on the National Road Number 3, circulation finally returned to normal. That was last weekend. However, experts have begun measuring the impact of the broken route on the economy. Some have said that the percentage economic growth could fall by up to 0.4%. They were speaking to a reporter, for me, Sander Armstrong. Let's hear him in the following report.
Economists have said the broken stretch of National Road Number 3 on the east entryway into the city of Douala, which hampered circulation for 3 days, will have enormous economic consequences on the Cameroonian economy. This strategic entryway into the economic capital is the main entryway for many African countries served by the Douala seaport.
It is a serious matter when you are faced with so big congestion at a so important point in our economy. You know, that is the entrance to the port. There will be also congestion in the port area automatically, and that means for us we have probably to register about 0.2% of percentage of growth lost.
Trucks plying the Douala and Jamina or the Douala Bangui corridor were caught by congestion, which Dr. Mongori Edim refers to as a growth killer. The local economy suffers a percentage growth loss of 0.1 to 0.4 as a result of congestion in the economic capital, Douala.
The town is congested, is not competitive in concurrence to other towns like Dakar, like Abidjan, where you can move very, very fast. Time is money, you know it. That is what English people used to say, time is money. When brasseries or another company have to spend 2 or 3 times more by loading, by selling drinks and so, is losing money.
The traffic congestion in Douala, like the case of Yassa, affects the productivity of labor and consequently that of the enterprise. To avoid such incidents and its effects on the economy, Dr. Edimo Mongori holds that proper town planning with a corresponding road network will be an ideal solution.
Flyover is a solution. Toboggan are other solution. We can say highway around the city can also be another.
A temporary stretch has been constructed to allow circulation on the National Road Number 3. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Public Works has assured road users that the main stretch of the road will be ready latest September.
And that brings us to the end of this edition of the Primetime Newscast on Equinoxe Television, viewers. So thank you so much for joining us as usual. Wishing you blessings in the company of our programs. Until we meet again. Goodbye. Next is the Zone 2. Stay